There are days in history when the loudest sound is not the crowd, but the silence that follows. That afternoon in India, the air felt heavy with expectation. People from many different beliefs gathered not out of curiosity, but out of challenge. They were not there to listen to a foreign preacher. They had come to test him. William Marion Branham stood among them as a man who seemed out of place. Simple in appearance, without academic titles or institutional backing, he carried only a quiet conviction that he was not alone. To many, he represented a strange faith, distant from India's ancient traditions. To others, he was just another man about to be exposed before a watching crowd. Respected religious leaders rose to confront him publicly. They declared that all religions led to the same end, and that the God Branham preached held no greater authority than the others. The challenge was clear and uncompromising. If this God was real, he should reveal his power there, in front of everyone. The atmosphere grew tense. Murmurs spread through the crowd like fire through dry grass. Many expected a theological debate, sharp words and intellectual defense. But Branham did not answer immediately. He stood silent for a moment, as if listening to something no one else could hear. And in that silence, something began to shift. When he finally spoke, it was not to argue doctrine or attack beliefs. He said he had not come to prove a religion, but to introduce a living God, a God who knows the human heart. Instead of long explanations, he offered a simple, humble prayer, acknowledging that if anything were to happen, it would not be by his ability, but by divine will. According to the historical accounts of his ministry, the unexpected began almost immediately. Branham started calling people from the crowd whom he had never met. He spoke their names, described personal details of their lives, and revealed illnesses that had not been mentioned. Each revelation stirred shock and disbelief among the listeners. Some tried to reason away what they were witnessing, but logic quickly fell short. People who had arrived in pain began to respond. Others wept without fully understanding why. The atmosphere that once carried defiance was now filled with a deep, unsettling silence, as though no one dared interrupt something sacred. The same leaders who had issued the challenge no longer spoke, not because they had been humiliated, but because they were facing something beyond the reach of argument. There were no cries of victory, no dramatic celebration, only a quiet, collective awe settled over the gathering. Branham claimed no credit for what had happened. He did not ask for followers, nor did he declare superiority. He simply stated that God does not reveal himself to compete with religions, but to reach sincere hearts. For many who stood there that day, no complete answers were given, but questions were planted that would never fade. When the meeting ended, nothing felt the same. The crowd dispersed slowly, each person carrying something unseen yet heavy. It was not fear, nor excitement, but reflection, the sense that they had witnessed something that defied the ordinary. William Marion Branham left the place as he had arrived, quietly, without thunderous applause, without human recognition. Yet he left behind a silence that spoke louder than any argument. Because sometimes the greatest confrontation is not between religions or beliefs, but between human pride and the unsettling possibility that the unseen may, in fact, be real.